Welcome back to the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. If you need a roof, make sure you call Ireland Contracting. Call me tonight, 412-575-2600. Lines are probably booked right now, but maybe when I take a call, one of the lines will open up. So Borders and Borders hotline is open right now, but it is packed. And let's go out there right now. We're going to go out to James in Saxonburg. How you doing, James?
Hi, Rich. Talking about Pitt athletics, I don't think the problem, I don't think, number one, they've got the best coaches in the world, but I don't blame the coaches. I believe recruiting. I don't think these coaches know how to recruit. My case in point is the best college basketball team in the last decade has been the Connecticut Lady Huskies. Take their team this year. Their point guard, Dangerfield, comes from Texas. Katie Samuelson, their three-point phenom, comes from California. Their other guard comes from somewhere in Canada, way out on the West Coast. I think our coaches got to get out of the car and get on an airplane and go.
You know what? I'm going to stop you right there, James. You bring up some good points, but what makes you think that these guys, even if they do drive in their car and go to California or Vancouver or wherever you want them to go, what makes you think that these kids are going to want to come to Pitt? Why Pitt? You said you don't blame the coaches, but you have to blame the coaches when it comes to recruiting.
That's right.
Yes.
They've got to sell the program.
Okay, sell the program. What does Pitt have right now that you can sell? Tell me something you can sell. Give me one thing.
In basketball,
a 15-year-old arena. That's what you're selling? You're selling a 15-year-old arena. Tell me what else you can sell.
I think the Pitt football you're hurting because and we had this conversation before. I think they need their own stadium. I don't think.
You know what? I don't really think. I think that I don't even think that's a big thing with recruits. When recruits, I don't think playing on campus is a huge deal. Maybe that is for students, but not for guys that potentially want to play in the NFL and are playing in an NFL stadium and are practicing right next to an NFL team. I think that's a much bigger deal in getting recruits, not an on-campus stadium. On-campus stadiums might be more beneficial to students or alumni, but not to kids that you're getting here.
Well, how come Penn State, when they weren't good a few years ago, are still getting 100 and some thousand people?
Penn State's you can't compare Pitt and Penn State. It's a different animal. You cannot compare the two. Penn State is a state school. They attract people from Philly, Harrisburg, Pittsburgh. Pitt only attracts people from Pittsburgh. So you're talking about you got 6 million people in Philadelphia that you draw from. Penn State is the state school.
Got to change. They got to try to get more.
And Penn State has almost triple the graduation rate as well. So think about that over 10 years. That's a lot more people.
I'm giving you my opinion. I think they got to look for there's good athletes in Pittsburgh, but we got to look for good athletes in California.
You know what? They do look for good athletes everywhere. They do look for good athletes everywhere,
James.
James.
Go get them.
Yeah, they have to go get them. I don't know what you can do to go get them. That's the thing. When you want to go out and buy a house or you want to sell your house, you need something that people want to buy it for. You know, why if I'm a recruit, why am I going to buy Pitt? Why? In basketball, they're playing in a 15-year-old arena. There's no atmosphere there anymore. In football, yeah, they got a great coach and a really enthusiastic coach, and I like Pat Narduzzi, and maybe he's doing things the right way there. But they don't have a winning record last year. They don't sell out, and you know that's just I don't know where I put the blame on that. You know, I think I would rather see them tarp it to push the crowd down to make it a good atmosphere. But I'm not a big guy on the attendance thing, and I hate to harp on it. I don't think they need an on-campus stadium. I think they're good with where they are. But how do you sell this Pitt basketball program anymore? Before, you could sell the Pitt basketball program as a perennial powerhouse. Now you can't do that. You don't have a coach that is in the top tier, one of those blue blood type coaches with a personality like Calipari or Patino, who's not coaching anymore, but you know, you're getting what I'm saying. You don't have that. So what sells the basketball program? That's what I want to know. Thanks for your call. It's got to Danny in Aliquippa. How you doing, Danny?
Hey, Rich.
What's up?
Hey, not too bad. How about you, man? Love the show. Hey,
thanks.
Yeah, I was at the game today talking Pitt basketball and stuff. They have 5 freshmen. You know, like Stallings, okay, if he's not the guy. I mean, I enjoyed the game. I mean, look better, you know, maybe.
Yeah, you know what? You're making good points. Yeah, you enjoy the game, but at some point it's about winning, right? It's not about enjoying the game.
Correct. Okay, but Jamie Dixon, okay, where was his recruits? I mean, Stalling, you know, he inherited his team. I mean, you know, now, I mean, they all left.
Yeah.
You know, Jamie Dixon's guys, you know, he goes to TCU.
And that's why I'm not, I agree with you. That's why I'm not in the fire Stallings' camp. I want to see him get 3-4 years. I think he needs to build a program, but they've gotten worse than they did last year. You would think you'd see improvement. Everyone left him. Why? Why did people not want to play for him? Why did people not want to play here? For Stallings. For Stallings.
Oh, well, then let's go get Rick Pitino. We were a powerhouse.
Well,
Blair,
you know, Rick Pitino has done a lot of shady things. And, hey, maybe you need to do that in basketball. I'm not saying Pitt should, but I'm saying.
No, I mean, I watched from Bobby Huggins, you know, Kentucky WVU. I mean, Pitt was, you know, we were a powerhouse, Big East.
Yeah.
I used to go to, you know, G-Town games. I mean, Syracuse.
You know what? I think maybe, you know, where Pitt lost its edge in recruiting, I hate to say it, is when it went from the Big East to the ACC, which was better for the school. And I like the factor in the ACC, but it seems like Jamie Dixon, all he could do is make excuses about going to the ACC, and he liked the Big East. Hey, but the Big East was folding. That Pitt had to make a move. That was the best move for that school. And why can't you compete in the ACC? Why can't you change your philosophy? Why can't you hire a guy that can recruit in the ACC? You were still a powerhouse when Pitt switched. So that's kind of where I am with that whole thing. You know, yes, Jamie Dixon do a great job of recruiting guys, although he did recruit two pretty good players in Artis and Young. But, yeah, maybe he didn't leave Stallings with the greatest team, but that was a team that was pretty good last year. And what happened? Why didn't these guys want to play for him? Why did these guys didn't want to buy in? I always say a good coach can adapt to what you have and can win with what you have. Look at Bill Belichick. You know, there's a prime example of a good coach. So why doesn't Kevin Stallings maybe change what he normally does to adapt to the players that he has right now until he does get the players that he wants, instead of going 0-9 and instead of seeing 2,000 people at these games? And that's where Pitt should start to get worried. When you see 2,500 for an ACC game during the week. I mean, today was a little bit different because they played Syracuse and a lot of Syracuse fans there, and it was the weekend. But, yeah, you got to be concerned about it. All right, let's go back out to the phone lines, and we're going to go out to John in McKees Rocks. How you doing, John?
Hey, Rich. I'd like to know, why would you want to give this Pitt's basketball coach, another 3-4 years? You know
what? That's a good question. I don't want to see guys get fired. And let me say this. I think you always need 3-4 years to get a guy to see what he can do. You have to give a...
I'll tell you what. And the reason for my call is what the previous caller said about Jamie Dixon. With Jamie Dixon, we had a perennial powerhouse. Every year he was a coach. We always had winning records. He took us to 20s every year. Maybe, you know, he didn't take us to a national championship. I remember one year we went to the Elite Eight was against Villanova and lost. But
yeah, I was sitting right there.
Yeah, you and a lot of other now hosts on the Nightly Sports Call basically ran Jamie Dixon out of town. I mean, y'all every time I remember listening about Jamie Dixon. And look where the basketball program is now. Look where TCU is. They're in the top 25. So that's where Pitt's mistake was. We got rid of a great coach, and now, you know, watch him take TCU to he might not take them to the national championship, but I guarantee you they'll be in the tournament year after year.
Yeah, you know, I always liked Jamie Dixon, and I was a Jamie Dixon fan. I wasn't in the get rid of Jamie Dixon camp, not at all. I think both sides, Jamie Dixon and Pitt, kind of wore on each other, and I think Jamie Dixon felt like he needed the change. It wasn't Pitt firing Jamie Dixon so much as I think it was a mutual thing right there with both of those guys. And yes, I think Jamie Dixon, maybe he isn't the best recruiter, but he had some guys under him that were really good recruiters, like you know, Barry Worson was one of the guys that I could think of. And you know, now at TCU, you're in Dallas, and you know that's an easy place to recruit. Guys want to come there and play there, but you had something here, and you didn't build off of it. You know, I thought that they would have got someone that was exciting, that was like had a very powerful personality. You know, that was like good with TV, with the fans. But right now there just isn't excitement, and I don't know why there isn't excitement around that. Well, I do know now because they're losing, but at the beginning, there just wasn't a lot of excitement with this hire. So, you know, I'm willing to give him one more year just to see what he can do, but it's hard to give him that 1 year when you just see the program just going downhill. That's the tough thing. to look at this whole thing. We got to take a break. Back with more of your phone calls coming up next.